Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry for delay. Thank you. Today's topic is Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. It contains 10 sections, 1 to 10 sections. Section 1 deals with when it was implemented. Section 2 deals with what is meant by the dowry. First, I want to start to say that the dowry means if any person offers during the course of marriage and received by other person in relating to the marriage, that is called as dowry, does not include that mahar and the dower under Muslim law, which is payable at the time of marriage. The two words it does not include in the dowry. But dowry means always whatever offer made between the parties relating to the marriage with their consent or demand between the parties, that is called as dowry. And some of the articles are also public going to be give bridegroom or bride or anybody else. Does not mean that those articles offered by the public at large, it is not a dowry. But on receipt of those articles, having right by the bridegroom to collect, because it is relating to the marriage offered by the public at large with love and affection. So therefore, that does not mean that that is the dowry. But bridegroom is always having a right to collect those offers or public given to her. So that is called as dowry. In this relationship, who is going to demand or who is going to offer the dowry between the parties? The parents, the relatives, the cousins, the brother-in-laws, or any person of relating to the marriage or relative of the both parties are involved in performing the marriage or offer each other, that is called as dowry. So if dowry, when it becomes a dowry means on the demand of bride, it becomes a dowry, because the persons who are engaged in the marriage situation among the family members, they are all held responsible to say that it is demand made by the bride or his parents, his in-laws, his anybody else, that is his cousins. All these persons are together offer or demand made by them. It is called as dowry. So now section 2 says that dowry means whatever the offer made between the marriage relating to the marriage is concerned, it is called as dowry. Section 3, this is most important because while you are coming in practice, 3 and 4 of DP Act, read with 3 and 4 of DP Act always along with this section 3 and 4. 3 means the penalty for giving and taking dowry. So means now on demand, when the dowry going to receive by the parents or by providing the dowry by the parents of bridegrooms at the time of marriage, it is also punishable under section 3. So what is the punishment for which? Because on demand of bridegroom parents are going to provide the dowry, which is punishable under this section, that is section 3, 5 years with fine of rupees 15,000. If tomorrow the dispute arose between the parties, between the husband and wife, now they themselves given without our demand does not mean that it is a dowry. That is the defense taken usually going to take by the husband, but does not mean that the husband going to collect the demand of dowry by way of payment made by the bridegroom's parents. So therefore, while providing also, while giving the dowry also, they are punishable with 5 years imprisonment and penalty of rupees 15,000 payable by them. Under this section, if the presentation has been made, you see offering always the public and offering always between the parents. This is the exemption, that is provided it shall be proved it is exemption, it is only a presentation but without any demand. Therefore, it cannot be treated as dowry and it cannot be given at the time of marriage. So therefore, the penalty, always the defense is available, and even giving also it is punishable under section 3 of Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. So 15,000. And customary, the two exemptions are there. One is presentation, another one is the customary as usual. Now tali, it is a customary. So therefore, the tali, golden tali or anything else, even some Arshana Kombu is also one of the marriage, attached to the marriage. But in this case, the presentation, customary, if the customary prevailed in their community, providing tali, golden tali or anything else, it is also exempted. Presentation and the customary prevailed in their family, so it is exempted. It is not a demand of dowry or it is not given by the dowry. Therefore, the dowry cannot be treated as two grounds. By providing, by giving the dowry means by way of customary and presentation, it cannot be treated as a dowry. But wherever the demand made, on the demand, if given the dowry, they are, while giving also, they are punishable under section 3 of the Dowry Prohibition Act. Now, section 4, how it is going to be act, please see that. The section 4 is always on the demand of bride relating to the marriage. So by giving under section 3, on demand going to provide the dowry, that is penalty under section 4 is concerned, demand directly or indirectly by the parents or any other relatives relating to the marriage is concerned, it is always punishable under section 4, because on demand they have given dowry, definitely they are also punishable under section 4, 6 month imprisonment for imprisonment, not it may be extended up to 2 years, and fine amount it may be extended 10,000. So therefore these two section, penalty clause section made and exemption is also made under section 3, but in the section 4 is concerned very serious, and it is also demand made for he is punishable under the section 4 of the act. Now kindly maybe look into another section newly introduction made in Dowry Prohibition Act by way of amendment, section 4A. Now it cannot be advertisement to be made. These are the articles we are going to provide. These are the articles we are going to demand made by it. Shall not be advertisement to be made. So they are also punishable under section 4A for fine as well as this. And penalty for depriving the rights of privilege, section 4B. Kindly may we look into. Now, whatever article she is demand, the demand made by the bride means person or his parents, for which if it is provided to the bridegroom or family, so then whose right going to be recover those article? Only the bridegroom. Bridegroom, her legal age. These new two sections are introduction under section 4A. 4A is concerned, it shall not be advertised. 4B is concerned, the bridegroom is entitled all the articles, whatever whatever taken by the bride or his family members, all the articles shall be returned to the bridegroom or bridegroom's legal heirs. They are entitled. So therefore, 4A and 4B introduction, newly amended sections. 5. Now, now you see, I think you have come across during the course of marriage, there is no any agreement at all between the parties, because dover and mahar, it is available only Muslim law, because it is agreemental marriage. It is between the parties, there is a agreement between them, the marriage. So therefore, they are provided some mohar or the uh, called as mohar. Dover and more. At the time of marriage, they are providing those called as, they are not, it is under agreement, but still it is not comes under Dowry Prohibition Act. But always any agreement made between the husband, between the marriage ceremony, at the time of marriage ceremony or before the marriage engagement, that agreement is void and it is not enforceable in law. That is under section 5 of Dowry Prohibition Act. It is not enforceable in law. Section 6, dowry to be for the benefit of wife or her legal heirs. Section 6, once again, the right has been accrued by the bridegroom only. Bridegroom is entitled to claim whatever articles has been offered or given at the time of marriage or in relation with the marriage. So therefore, section 3 and 4 is also applicable, and section 6 always return to the only bridegroom and with the legal heirs. If they have not returned those articles, automatically those articles shall be claimed within 3 months or within 3 months from the date of providing those articles, or within 6 months. She has to claim before the court under section 6. I am entitled those articles which are given at the time of marriage. All these restriction has been made after within 6 months if it is not given. So all the dowry punishments or dowry actions to be taken only within 7 years, not more than that. That is the proviso under section 6 and 7. So therefore, under section 6, 4, 3 and 4, if you want to take any action within 7 years only, so therefore, the restricted 7 years of their marriage, they can move the matter before the court of law to punish them, those who are given the dowry or receive the dowry. So therefore, these sections 6 is also operating. And who is going to try this? Who is going to take cognizance of this offense? Offenses committed under section 3 and 4. Section 3 and 4, punishable under section only by way of the trial by magistrate, judicial magistrate magistrate first class only has to take action against, to take cognizance of the offense. That is under section 7. The magistrate of judicial magistrate first class only to take cognizance of the offense as if committed by the parties for demand of dowry as well as giving of the dowry. These trial of the offences by only the authority, that is judicial magistrate. Now, most important, section 8 for the practice purpose. So whether those offences are bailable in nature or cognizable in nature. Bailable in nature means within 3 years punishment they are entitled for bail. Because it is 5 years, therefore cognizable in nature. Without arrest, they can immediately take action against the person. So therefore, bailable in nature, bail can be granted by the judicial magistrate relating to the section 3 and 4 of DP Act. And non-cognizable means it is without warrant they can arrest and they must produce before the court. The police bail is not available. However, in the police station, certain rights has been given. Some bailable offences, they can enlarge them on bail. But under the provision of DP Act, they shall be produced before the court. Cognizance has been taken and immediately they can enlarge them on bail, and it is non-cognizable in nature. Without warrant, they can arrest, and the offences under section, this one is non-compoundable. It cannot be compromised. It cannot be compromised in any manner except under exception sections 482 of CRPC, 482 inherent power of the Honorable High Courts. They are, and Honorable Supreme Court, entitled to compound the offense between the parties. The other courts are not available. Raja Active Swami, Nalene Bitvidi. No, it is not possible. So therefore, non-compoundable with the permission of the High Court only under section 482. If both parties moved the matter under section 482 and the inherent power can be exercised to compound these offences. The another section has been introduced, 8A and 8B. 8A is concerned, that is burden of proof. Burden of proof for giving or taking. All the both section 3 and section 4, 3 and 4 is concerned, burden of proof always on the ground, on bridegroom only. The bridegroom has to move the matter before the court and she has to prove. Burden lies on the bridegroom only. And another case is concerned, the prohibition officer is also available. Dowry prohibition officer, state government usually appointing dowry prohibition officer. They can also take the matter, and complaint also they are liable to be received and forwarded to the jurisdictional police, that is section 8B. So dowry prohibition officer is also there. And other two sections are section 9 and 10, power making rules is lies with the government, and state government is liberty to change the law. So likewise, under Dowry Prohibition Act, what is the main theme of the why this has been introduced in the year 1961? Only because there is a huge demand. There is a dowry providing by themselves. All these things, dispute arose. Then immediately the legislature introduced this Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. Now, Next question is arose for you is concerned. Sir, dowry giving or dowry harassment. Harassment is not available in this section. So where you should go, only you have to section 498 1B, because relating to the dowry harassment made by the bride or bride family members to the bridegroom or her family members. If demand has been made, harassment has been made, section 498 1B. There are exemptions, no doubt. Harassment means not providing food is also harassment, everything. But relating to the demand of valuable security, demand of valuable amount, demand of valuable the immobile properties for her security, it is also comes under section 498A of IPC, Indian Penal Code. So I think you understood what is meant by the dowry. So where how many sections are implicated for the dowry is concerned? 498A and in the IPC. Next, sir, 498 is elapsed, 3 and 4 is gone. Now, if death took place for demand of dowry, committed suicide, for demand of dowry, she has mentally weak, so therefore she succumbed her life. You may repose to question to me definitely. It is comes under section 304B, capital B, dowry death. So dowry death is always abatement, because continuously harassment, continuously pinpricking her to bring the dowry, she unable to go before the parents. Therefore, she succumbed life due to demand of dowry. So therefore, under section 304B, it is available for you to take action under that section. The punishment is also then 7 years or life imprisonment punishment in both sections are available. 498A and 304B, capital B. 304A is concerned accident cases. 304B is concerned dowry death only, cruelty by husband, his relative. That is the word has been used, 304B. So therefore, these are the sections relating to the marriage is concerned for demand of dowry, harassment, and these two sections of IPC implementing against the parents, against the husband, parents, everybody, those who are involving in demand of dowry. So therefore, today's topic, I think you understood what is meant by section 3, what is meant by section 4, and these two sections operating along with section 498A and 304B of IPC. So therefore, if any question, please kindly may put me, I can answer for those questions.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir, this is Mohan here, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, as per the Dowry Act 1961,
Yes, sir.
this act it will not be applicable to Muslim religion, sir.
Yes, sir. Because there is a agreement between the marriage agreement between them. Because the marriage is only based on the agreement, their marriage. Mahar ಇಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟು ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀನು ಒಪ್ಪಿದೆಯೇನಮ್ಮ, ಒಪ್ಪಿದೀವಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ is end. So therefore it is nothing but agreement between them. Mahar or dover ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So
Okay.
that is two words used, it is not applicable. But harassment is there. Section 498A 1B, it is applicable. If continuous harassment made for demand of more mahar and more the dover, so it is also comes under section 498A of IPC, but does not include in the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, you said that okay, there is an agreement happened between those parties. So
Yes,
they will say that okay, at the time of marriage, we will provide you around 70% of the cash or in the form of kind. In another 30% of the whatever the consideration is there, we can't say dowry is that why because it's an agreement.
yes,
After that 30%, they said okay, we will provide you after 6 months or the 1 year. They give the promise from the
yes,
bride end,
yes,
but they are unable to provide the same to the bridegrooms. In that moment, okay, the harassment normally harassment will happen from the bridegroom hand to bride. Okay, in that moment, how it will be
now
handled by
if the agreement is took place between them, section 5 is operating
Mhm,
against each other,
mhm,
because agreement is void in nature. It is not enforceable
mhm.
either of the parties. Therefore, comes under section 3 and 4 once again.
Okay.
Uh, Any question from any students or any?
ಸರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಮದುವೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸರ್?
Sir, intercaste to interreligion, it is acceptable between the husband and wife. ಅದು ಯಾರ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ.
ಒನ್
ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಿವೇಲ್ಡ್ ಓವರ್ ದಟ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಇದಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೇನ್
ಹೌದು
ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಈಗ ವರದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್, ವಧು ದಕ್ಷಿಣೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ವಧು ದಕ್ಷಿಣೆನು ಇದೆ, ಸಮ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸಮ್ಟೆಡ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಅದೇ ಕಸ್ಟಮರಿ ಈಗ ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಇದ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, ಮರ್ಕೇರ ಕಡೆ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್,
ಮರ್ಕೇರ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ನ.
ಹೌದು
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಧು ದಕ್ಷಿಣೆನೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರೋದು.
ಹೌದು.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರಿ ಪ್ರಿವೇಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಲಾ. ಕಸ್ಟಮರಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಡವರಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್.
ಸರ್, ಈಗ ನಾವೂನು ಈಗ ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೂ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮುಗೀತಲ್ವಾ?
ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೇಮ್
ಹಾ.
ಕೇಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಬಹಳ ಒಂಥರ ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗೆ ಇದೆ ಅದು, ಸೇಮ್ ಕೇಸು.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನಾನು ಈಗ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮೊನ್ನೆ. 47 ಲಕ್ಷ ಹುಡುಗಿಯಿಂದ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವನು.
ಓಕೆ.
ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ನೀನು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ,
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಆದದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ.
ಹಾ.
ಆಮೇಲೆ 47 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟವನು. ನಾನು ಮೊನ್ನೆ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ.
ಹ್ಮ್.
ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ 47 ಲಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ,
ಹ್ಮ್.
ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ 11 ಲಕ್ಷದ ಆರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರು ಮನೆಗೆ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಅವನು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, 47 ಲಕ್ಷನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ನಾನು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌರಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಅದು.
ಹೌದು. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ.
ನಾನು ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ರಿಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಐತ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಆಗೇಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 498 ಏನೂ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
ಫ್ರಾಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ
ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಚೀಟಿಂಗು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತಾವ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ವೈಡೆ, ಬಟ್
Okay.
ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲಾ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಕೇಸ್ ನಾನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ರು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ, ಅದನ್ನೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರ್?
ಅದನ್ನೇ ಈಗ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಬಗೆಹರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೆಸ್ಟ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ರಾಜಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಮೀಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬಹುದು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಧಾರವಾಡ ಬೆಂಚ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬ್ರೈಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಮ್ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು. ಅಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರೈಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಮ್ ಬ್ರೈಡ್ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು. ಕೇಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವರು ಸೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ನ. ಹೋಗಿ ಬ್ರೈಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಮ್ ಕೇಳ್ದ, ಈ ತರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನಮಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ನಮ್ ಮಿಸ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅವಾಗ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಪ್ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ಡೌರಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಏರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೈಡ್ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನಿಮಗ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗ್ ತಿಳಿದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಟೈಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವು ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ ಡೈಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ಜಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗೇನು ಈಸಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ತಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಡೌರಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಭಾರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 498 ಏನು ತರಬಹುದು, ಡೌರಿ ಪ್ರೊಹಿಬಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ನು ತರಬಹುದು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ.
Sir, as you said that, okay, suppose if the bride is expired, even bridegroom is not the legal heirs in that situation, sir?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗತ್ತದೆಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಆ ಜಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾನು ಓದ್ದೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಬೆಂಚ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಅವರು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಪೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Sir, even though after 10 years, if the bride is expired, the legal heirs will go to the parents.
ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಅದು ಸಕ್ಸೆಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತವೆ. 7 years ವರೆಗೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಡೌರಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Okay, that should be fine.
You please be aware that confine your mind. Dowry means only 7 years, within 7 years of their life.
Okay.
ಆ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 7 years ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. Yes, madam. So many madams are there. Any question from you?
It's clear, sir. No questions, sir. It's
No
clear.
question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You have understood all these things.
Tomorrow we will do one more. I will also take one more session on the same Dowry Prohibition Act. I'll show you the complaint and some cross examinations we have done. So you'll just get an understanding how the case is, the stages of the case, how the case is run across. Tomorrow I'll share again in the evening around 7 o'clock. So that's all for now. Any doubts?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.